Let's go.
All right, everyone. This is round two, as usual. Mr. Atearoa was Eagle Eye. The first time we started the program, I forgot to press the record button. But Mr. Atearoa is the reason why we used the first pick in the draft to select him from New Zealand.
Let's
But
go.
we welcome everyone to today's program. We're really excited for today. Obviously, our guest today is a very special person to both of us, but especially for me. This is where I get my name from. And we're really excited to have Tualau Fale join us. Go ahead, Tua, if you want to make an introduction of where you live right now and what you've been up to. But feel free to introduce yourself, Tua.
Uh, it's good to be with you too in your program today. I'm grateful to be with you too. I was surprised when my son told me that you two want me to join you too. But anyway, thanks a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, 100%. We're really excited, Tua, because we really do think that your life experience has taken you some really exciting places. One of the main things that really brought us to mind in really bringing you about is the Olympics, right? Have we just gone through the Olympics? That's been a high topic for a lot of people. And I know eventually we'll get into the Olympic topic. But really, there are not very many people in the world who can say that they have been to the Olympics and were an Olympian. So that is a pretty high achievement. That was one of the things that we're like, man, it would be really great. But we would also, a lot of our viewers are really interested in understanding, hearing from people what their experience was like growing up in Tonga. So, Tua, what kind of anything you're willing to share where you grew up in Tonga, what it was like, what was life growing up in Tonga when you were growing up?
Yeah, when I grow up, our parents, I think compared to everyone, I think we got everything
Mm.
at home, and my dad run have heaps of lots of plantation, banana plantation, everything, and even though that we have a little shop with and one the other side two part, and one the other side you got a pool table in it. You can play pool, and you can still pay for you playing pools, and it's still hard because my dad does want us to work for what we get, even though we got everything. But if he told us, if you want something, have to work for you
Yep.
on your own. Have to work for. We sometimes we had to go collect coconut and sell it. Some people running, they call it piliki. They running, and you go drop them some coconut, and they give you money. That's our extra, your own money. You
Little
can do
pocket
any
money, huh?
pocket money. Yeah, even though when my dad always give me money, but when I need extra, I have to find some way to get my own money.
Yeah, I remember, growing up with Xiaoxi in Tonga, Tua, and he was a big believer in that, right? If you want to accomplish something, it doesn't come for free. You have to work hard, and you have to be willing to sacrifice something. One of the funny phrases I remember growing up is when we're working. Let's say we were cutting wood or any kind of work, and I could tell when Xiaoxi would look like, oh, kamata ke loto si, foi. And I remember Xiaoxi would say, "Si, malo himi amate himi agmooi." You know, and that's what some of the phrases I remember
Mm.
from Xiaoxi is that same thing that you're talking about. Tua is, hey, you're the living thing. You're the thing that can move and make choices. Why are you gonna give up on the thing that cannot make choices and move? So really, that was something I remember. What was going to school like, Tua? Now that you kind of shared, this is what was growing up, the environment where your father was working. He was also teaching you and your siblings. Hey, he obviously provided a lot of opportunity, but he wanted you guys to know opportunity, you have to work for it. It doesn't just happen. What was it like for going to school, and what was, was your parents encouraging you to go to school, and going to elementary school and high school? What was that like? And just kind of help us understand what the school experience was like in Tonga in the primary and high school.
Yeah, it was. I think when I start going to school, primary school, after my five, class five,
Mm-hmm.
little class one to up to six, class level grade six before you go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come out grade five, um, we do class Nima, and my auntie Fanny came. They live in Wavao, and she came to Tonga, and she asked Shasi, she wanted to take me to Wavao.
Mm.
So my dad said, "Yeah, you go with Fanny." So I straight
Oh.
from Tonga to Wavao and straight to middle school, the Ahona Middle School. Even though I'm still on grade five, or what do you call it, class
Class
Nima.
Nima, yeah,
Yeah,
class 5.
yeah. I straight to middle school and carry on from there. So up to on those days to start with, uh, 6, 7, and 8 before you move to Liahona High School.
Mm.
So when I come up to grade 7, class 7, and they changed it up level form 1, form 2, form 3.
Mm.
No,
Okay.
so I moved Fanny and Willie, William Harris, that's her husband. They will move to Hawaii for more education.
Okay.
So I moved back to Tonga. Alo ako just go to the Tonga Middle School, Liahona Middle School there, and after that in Liahona High School. And Billy and Fanny came back from BYU and be a um, principal in Liahona High School. He's the first Tongan principal there in Liahona.
Mm.
So it's about I think it was I have easy life.
Mm.
So not compared to those one Fale and Unga, those one they come through hardship. So I went to their Honda and still the same thing. Funny and really pay everything for my tuition, everything.
Mm.
So I grew up different from other kids. They have to grow up in hardship at home.
Mm. Very interesting. I did not
Yeah.
know that you went to Vava'u, Tua, that you went and did the middle school there. Was that hard for you? What was that kind of experience? Leave home? How old were you when you left home? And
Mm.
what was that like growing up in Vava'u?
Compared to
Starting new
Tonga. Yeah.
friends compared to Tongatapu. Kind of, what was that like? Was there any challenges, or it was pretty easy for you? What was that like, Tua?
So when I went to Vavau, it's a big change
Mm.
because in Vavau and William Harris and Fanny, they have everything, money. They have some people working for them. There are different people as working as cooking, and they have everything, and
Wow.
people working for them. Yeah, the people that's their job just for washing only. They have a bakery, faretama. They got everything. So I grow up in an easy life when I grow up.
Mm.
And where in Vava'u was this tour? Where specific? What was the name of the village or the town?
In Neyafu. In
Neyafu.
Neyafu.
Oh, so right in the city.
Yeah, in called Kameri, Neyafu.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tua, did you have any time? Because I know we do have connections to in Vava'u in Halau Furi. Were you? That's one place I do want to check out in Vava'u. But were you able to spend other times outside of Kameri or Neyafu in other
Yeah,
parts of Vava'u?
all the family. There are lots of family from Halafuri because
Mm.
grandpa's father from there.
Yeah.
The mom Lata from Vavau. There are lots of
Yeah.
family from there. Yeah,
Okay. So you spent
we
some time.
always go spend sometimes the family there.
See, that's nice, man. I remember one time. I can't remember the name of the lady. I think her name was Shani from Halau Furi. She came down to a funeral in Tongatapu, and you know our dad wouldn't let us go anywhere, right? Our dad wouldn't let us. And this auntie from Halau Furi, she wanted to take us to Vava'u for like the 2 week break. And I remember asking my dad, Dad, please, can we go? And my dad is like, no, you stay home and go to Uta.
I need your
Oh,
labor. I need your
oh.
labor for the hina in Uta.
Uh, I feel sorry for you kids.
No, but
Yeah.
that's a really really interesting contrast. Like you said, you go there, have a really positive experience. Was that your first time getting exposure to the church, Tua? Was
Yeah,
with Fane, or did you have experience with the church before?
no, I baptized in Vavau. The missionary came and taught me there. So
Mm.
Fane said, no, I have to contact your dad if you want to baptize. And I told Fanny, no, I want to baptize.
Did you feel
So
that your father probably wouldn't be okay with you getting baptized? Is that the main reason?
uh, back home, we are dad not force us to do anything like going to church, whatever
Mm.
we church we wanna go. The
He
children,
wanted you guys to choose.
yeah,
He let you
yeah,
choose.
it's our own choice.
Wow.
Mm.
Even though that he's Setuata in the Busiliana in Lavaha,
Mm.
but sometimes the members are not happy with Xiaoxi when they saw us kids walking on the road going to the church in Tatamotonga,
Mm.
LDS. Was
Mm.
still no chapel in Hoi in
At that
those
time.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that's like you're saying, that's very unusual for Tonga, Hatua, to have a father who allow his children to choose. Even when I
Mm.
was growing up, the kids were told this is what you do, this is how you do
Mm.
it. Um,
Xiaoxi looks like he
very
was very
different.
very
Yeah.
different because that's not a common thing in even today amongst Tongan families with the Tongan father. Would you say so, Dua? Or was that, or I don't know, but what do
uh,
you think of?
uh, I think every family have their own
Way.
different
Mm.
Yeah.
ways. Yeah,
Mm.
but uh, Xiaoxi is he's a hard man of lots of things. But coming to the church, he's not forcing us to just go to one church.
Mm.
I think because Fane the Mary really Haji, really William Harris,
Mm,
and she's and the Mormon church, and she is okay with him.
mm,
So
mm.
he was comfortable because his sister, he knew his sister would, understood what was best and what was important to him. Okay. Very interesting. So you come back to Tonga, you go to the middle school in
Tamatong.
Tabato.
Tonga, and then what was it like going to Liahona? I mean, to me personally, Tua, I've been to BYU in Provo, I've been to BYU Hawaii. Liahona is one of the most beautiful campuses out of all the campuses I've been to. It's really nice, just the way it's
Well
taken
kept.
care of.
Mm.
Yes. What was it like going to Liahona? What was your experience going in high school in Liahona? And did you get into sports? What kind of sports you got into? Just kind of give some background onto what your high school experience was like.
Yeah, when I enter Riahana, I think Riahana is way different from all the college in Tonga.
Mm.
Because on our days, we were, I think, what do you call it? The student being spoiled.
Yes.
Yeah, we and those who staying in the dorm had to go to the cafeteria, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's
Mm.
like
It's like
Hotel.
America, basically. It's
yeah,
Hotel
like living
service.
overseas. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, like overseas, and everything. The school do everything for you.
And you
Mm.
lived in the dorms, or did you live with Fane in
No, we live in the dorm,
Mm.
Oh,
and
okay.
we live in the dorm, and whatever we need, whatever I need, I always go to Fanny and Willie's house. Yeah,
Mm.
but uh, but staying in the dorm is like you've been spoiled, spoiled staying there.
Living the good life.
A
Living no,
good life.
that
Yeah,
is that is actually yeah, because I mean I don't that's pretty much living overseas. When you're living on Liahona campus, that's
Mm.
living overseas basically, like you're saying to and you did form 1 through form 6.
yeah.
Did
On those
you
days, only form five.
oh,
There's
okay.
still no form
Form
six in those
6.
Don't
days.
firm
Yeah,
six yet.
Okay.
yeah,
Playing sports, did you play any sports, any rugby or
yeah. I've been start playing rugby. Start from grade 3, 4, 5, and senior. We've been we are the champion. We all the way to the top
oh
every year.
Wow.
really?
So yeah,
That's
uh,
impressive during that time, especially with Tolo and Atere being the
yeah,
pinnacle. Mm.
yeah. I think we are the only grade that we come up. I don't some later, but our I think
The
our one
first.
is the first. We start from grade 3, 4, 5, and senior. We got the seal, the champion.
Wow. That's
Mm.
cool. What position did you play and what was like the training? What was kind of the mentality? Was there a lot of people going like playing rugby overseas or just looking at the national team tour? What was it like to play rugby at that time?
Uh, on those in those days, there are lots of mostly we just go to play rugby at the college just to have fun.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
we are not thinking about going overseas like these days. Have
Mm.
Okay.
more opportunities to go overseas. But on those days, we just going Hungary Lao just for our college.
Yeah.
Just make sure your college is
The
better
best.
than the other. You're the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hang out with the boys, have a good time, enjoy
Yeah,
the
that
game. What position did you play?
uh Matadolu.
Prop?
Yeah,
Oi.
Nice. Nice.
Did they
yeah,
have loose head or tight head back then, or was it just any kind?
yeah. Any both the any side we are play.
Mm. No, I was gonna say I had a quick just an interesting comment. To when you mentioned that that you had a easy life kind of with your growing up in in Mua and also in Bavao. And then I remember talking to Fare too about his growing up, and he just mentioned from his point of view that his life was also pretty good compared to what people were at in Mua during that time, because it was a big deal to eat. You be able to eat 3 times a day, and he was one of the few kids, and some of the times that he thought that was easy life. So I'm just saying, it's so funny how each of the sibling, because Fari is older than you, and the older ones, they still had it easier in their view, and then you also saw you're having it easier too, going with fun and stuff. I just thought that was interesting,
Yeah,
because in those days, life was not easy,
yeah.
for especially.
Was not easy for other families.
Yes, because Fadi would always say that eating 3 times a day was a big deal, because that's one thing Xiaoxi wanted to do for the kids, making sure that they ate 3 times, because he didn't want the kids to go to other families and and eat their food, but always stay home and have 3 meals a day.
Yeah,
So I just thought that was interesting. But
yeah.
yeah,
Even our house, there are lots of boys there every week. They come and stay, hang out with us. I think maybe because of
the food.
food. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's okay. But it's all right.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
always
yeah,
share with them.
yeah,
yeah. No,
100%.
that's how it is. That's Oh, and my other question was to was was there anyone, since you guys were the top in your guys' grade, did anyone of your rugby mates kind of went on to kind of play for the national team of Tonga, that kind of went around, or any kind of any pathway to that from other your rugby mates that kind of went on to play for the national team in Tonga?
Yeah. There's Swanehola,
Oh, yeah.
one of
I
our
met
cousins.
Soane Hola in
Yeah,
Texas, in Euless.
yeah.
Mm.
And Alamoni Leava'a.
So they were at Liahona, or I
Yeah,
thought Soane went to Atele, but he went to
yeah.
Atele after?
But he came to us after. And this
Oh,
is
he
his
went.
Mm.
last
Yeah.
year with
Okay.
us.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ah,
okay.
okay. No, that's cool. But yeah, that's all I have. I just wanted to kind of make
So it
comment on
was
that.
Soane Hola, and who was the other one, Tua?
Alamoni Leava'a.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of Tonga's best player. First 5'8", second 5'8".
Okay, so he
Mm,
played in the back, because I think Soane was what, a loose forward or a
Yeah,
lock?
it's a number 8.
Number 8 for you guys.
Yeah.
nice.
And you were saying, Tua, that you kind of, did you jump a couple classes up, because you said when you left from Tongatapu to go to Vava'u, you went straight into middle school. Were you younger than everyone else, or were you all the same age?
No, I was younger, but because I got a bigger body, and they thought that we are the same age.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But they were all what, like a year or two older than you?
yeah.
Hmm.
Mm, mm,
When did you start getting into, well, before we get to whether when you got into boxing, was, I'm assuming from what I hear from those times too, a boxing was way more popular than rugby, or was rugby more popular than boxing when you
mm,
were growing up?
They're both the same. The
Oh,
same.
both popular.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But back home, we always have a boxing club at our house, in our house,
Okay.
So
and
Chelsea love boxing, huh?
we always boxing every evening. All the whole village come
Come
and
over.
pair up and fight. Yeah,
Good training. Good training.
yeah.
So that's when you first got into boxing. How young were you, Tua, when you started, putting on the gloves and
Mm.
boxing your friends and your stuff from the village?
Yeah, I think I was still on the class 4th grade.
Fourth grade.
Mm.
Yeah, I always got a hiding from the boys,
All
but
the bigger boys.
I was forced to put the gloves up. I always got a bleeding nose and fat lips, but I was told no, put the gloves in.
Put it on. Don't back
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So you're probably like every evening, oh my gosh, I gotta get beat up again. Oh my gosh. So you
Yeah.
started at like fourth, fifth grade. When did you stop getting beat up? Did you ever have a chance to not be beat up? Maybe like seventh,
Uh,
eighth grade?
no, no. I think I start on my five, fifth grade, five class lima,
Mm.
and in the sixth grade, I'll start to know how to do what to do.
Mm.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I was just gonna add to Alahi, did you just learn on your own, or did you just learn? Did Chelsea just give you like pointers, or maybe your older siblings gave you pointers? Like, no, do this, use your advantage. Like, how did you start winning?
Yeah, the older boys and
Mm,
even Chelsea was there and tell me what to do.
mm.
And but when the more you go to hiding, the more you
You
improve.
You
learn.
learn.
That's a good way to
the,
learn.
yeah. The best lesson is the punching bag that punch back at you. Eh? If you just
Uh,
punch the punching bag, you think you're good because it doesn't punch back.
mm.
The best lesson is to fight the punching bag that punches back on you. So what was it? Kind of share how you were developing. So you started at a young age. It's
Mm,
more like a community family event. You're boxing. At what point did you start getting into like more like organized? Was there
mm.
like tournaments in Tonga back then for
Yeah.
youth, or how did you start to you know develop your skill and then say, hey, maybe this is something I can do, that can take me somewhere.
Mm,
Yeah, back in Tonga those days, there's no uh, all the same. No grade like a beginner or
mm,
you
mm.
just get in. You get in even though you're teenage. You fight with 30 years old fella.
Was there any weights or anything to it? No, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just
The
okay.
weights is
Okay,
still
but
good
age didn't matter.
division, but the age didn't matter. You
So
can,
so what I'm getting then too, because you were a little bit bigger, you were always fighting the older guys who are way older than you because you were a little bit bigger. Is that's what I'm starting to see from this conversation?
yeah. When you when you're a boxer, you can fight anybody, even though old age or whoever, or
Mm,
even though you're young, but the other fellow is much older and more heavier, you still fight.
Mm. But what was it like the first time? I think maybe on a previous one, we were talking with Masi, and I still remember, my first couple games playing senior in Tonga, and we were really, 15 years old, and you look at that Toloa guy, and he's like, dude, the oldest you're supposed to be is 19, but I look at you, you look like you're 23, 25. And, like you're saying, when before the game starts, you're like, you feel a little nervous. You feel your heart beating because you're like, man, there's some big guys on the other side and they're way older. But like once the whistle blows or whatever, then you get into the game. You have to forget about it. But what is it like? What is it like playing rugby is different than boxing? Like to me, that would be a little bit more scarier. How long did it take you? Is it because you were boxing older kids since you were very young? By the time you got to like 15, you were used to it, but kind of help understand, because I remember being scared, just from rugby. I can't imagine 15 going up against a 22-year-old in boxing, but kind of help us understand how did you get over that scary part?
Yeah, in Tonga, our team, our team, rugby team in the Hana those days, we rely on each other,
Mm.
and
mm,
we don't scare of anyone because we all the same.
mm,
We all play the same. We all our coach start from the bottom. His name is Saya Pango, and
Mm.
he always come up with us all the way up,
Every year.
and every year, and he train us like hell. He
mm,
said, if you wanna win, have to train hard. And coming to the boxing, that's way different.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's way big different when in boxing. Uh, the only thing you feel is if have fear on you or afraid if you are not fit.
Mm.
Mm.
But when it train hard, and before getting inside the ring, you can feel nervous outside the ring. But when you get inside the ring, there's no more fear. That's one thing come to your mind: fight for your life. No one help you.
Mm.
That's the different thing, and you not feel afraid or anything because you go there do your best.
Yeah. No, I mean, see, and that's why I was saying I wanted to ask that question too, because, I went into a couple, you know, tournaments. They weren't as many with young in Tonga,
Mm.
but at least it was the same age, right? Same weight, same age. They kept it the same. And like you said, in rugby, you can rely on your team,
Yeah.
right? And be like, but when you
Keep
go
going.
into a boxing match, you cannot look to the left. You cannot, it's only you and the other guy. So you're
Mm.
saying the confidence that you got was because of how prepared you were. You did the training, you
Fitness.
did the technique, and you said, you know what? Like you said, he has 2 hands, 2 feet like me, but I've put in the work. And that gave you the confidence to say, I can hold my own.
Yeah, that's the thing. And when I was in Liahona after the rugby, when the rugby season finished, the school, and I think the boxing start,
Mm.
and me and my mate friend from Liahona, he's from Hawaii. His name is Lautoka, and I told him, hey, we train, we go get in and fight boxing. And he said, yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it. And we start boxing, going
Ah.
to start fighting.
Was that in Liahona, or did you guys go to someone else close to Liahona who had
Now
uh,
we train in Liahona,
just the two of you?
just the two of us. And the best thing to do it was the principal of Bukit Tang Tao found out, and he want us to do it. We
Mm.
stay
Mm.
in the dorm, and
Supported you. Mm.
so he support us,
Mm.
and we carry on like the rugby team doing, like because we necesita pe media hona, we fight
Mm.
from the hona,
Mm.
and Wookie was he's the big boss principal, told the people in workers in the restaurant in in the cafeteria in the hona, just to prepare food for us every morning when we finish training,
Come
come
and eat
change and go eat. It's like carry on from the rugby
rugby.
season. Yeah,
Mm.
always. So we are special.
Mm.
That's why we
Wow.
are.
I did not realize that you were kind of doing this on your
On
own.
your own. Yeah.
So with you and Lotolua, was it just the two of you, or did more people come and join, or is it just the two of you train every morning?
Yeah,
Mm.
only two of us.
So
Yeah.
what would you guys do to her? Because I mean, you don't have the boxing equipment. Yeah, you don't have the boxing equipment. I'm assuming. So what kind of training would you guys do?
Uh, Back on those days, we always have boxing gloves in the dorm at the dorm
Mm.
Yahana.
Mm.
So for me and Lotolua, we just running, and evening we have sparring in the at the dorm. Everyone just put in and fight.
So basically, you took the tradition from growing up at home in the village and bring everybody to box every day. You guys did the same tradition in the dome.
In the
Yeah,
Ahon, right?
yeah. It's like
Normal.
normal there.
So, see, I think, I mean, this to me is really interesting because this is when you want something, and I think this is connected to what you said that your father taught you, right? If you want something, if you want a box, you're not gonna sit around and eat chips all day and then you'll be able to box. You have to wake up, you have to train every day, and on top of your normal stuff, right? Because you still have school every day, right? Tua, you still have to go to school, you still have, responsibility in the dorm, because I know they do have the dorm kids do some work as well. So you have to be willing to sacrifice. You basically took what your father taught you and said, we sacrifice. What time would you guys wake up every morning for your training and running in the morning?
We always wake up about 5:30 or
Mm,
5 o'clock, and
mm,
running the Toms wake up at 6.
mm,
Mm.
Everyone wake up at 6, get ready. But we
mm,
always wake up early and go
Do your
training,
run.
do and run and come back. But on those days, there's no punching bag or bag
mm,
to train or pads or whatever.
mm.
Just sparring
Yeah.
in the
Mm.
Honda and from there and fight.
Hmm.
Very interesting. I think there's a lot of people, especially the youth growing up, and
Yeah.
it's you cannot worry about, if 50 people are gonna join me, just you and your friend, the two of
Yeah.
us.
Lotolua.
That's all that matters. Wake up. If you know what you want, you gotta wake up and train for it. And what was it like when you finished high school, to us? So you finished high school, you've had a
Mm,
pretty successful rugby career in high school, you've done good boxing
mhm.
experience and career. High school comes. What are you thinking of next? What is Tua thinking of? What's next in my life? What happens next for you?
When I was young, I was my dad always wake me up, run, because all the older boys training,
Mm,
they always die, father, and lots of boys come and save them and they
train.
want train. Yeah, but when they running about they just 10-20 minutes away, my dad wake me up. Hey, get up, run! You can run too. I, I was running on the road. I was scared the ghost.
The dark.
I'm assuming this was like 5 o'clock in the morning too. At
Yeah,
Tua.
yeah.
Mm,
But anyway, but I still do.
Mm,
mm,
And when all the older brothers going overseas, and my dad told me, Chelsea said, I think he had to train hard, go fight. I'm not.
mm,
I'm getting old. I don't have enough money to send you overseas.
mm,
So that's the only way to you go overseas.
that's
Free ride
the opportunity. Yeah.
mm.
opportunity to go overseas.
And is that when you start taking boxing serious in your
Yeah,
training? And yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's I always think about what Chelsea told me, and I said, okay. I start training, running hard, and training hard because that's the only way to go travel overseas.
Mm,
Mm,
So no one pay me or whatever. That's what my dad told me. He's getting uh, all. He don't have any more. Can't afford to send me overseas. But everyone overseas except me back home.
mm.
mm, mm,
So what was that? So you start training. What was the path like then? You had to go and fight in local tournaments to kind of
mm,
build up your
Reputation.
your opportunity, and what did the opportunity look like? So it was train and fight in Tonga and then represent Tonga to, was there South Pacific Games? What were the kind of the big
Yeah.
Mm.
tournaments back
Oh,
then that you were preparing for?
all the games, South Pacific game. It start from Oceania game.
Oceania Games. So that was the first one you had to go
Yeah.
to.
South Pacific game, Oceania game, Commonwealth game, Olympic game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that journey? So you go to the Oceania one first, right?
How many
Kind of
fights
help us
do?
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 How many fights?
In Oceania game, we got every year in different countries.
Mm,
Mm.
Samoa, um, New Caledonia, New Zealand, everywhere. Oceania games.
Mm.
This year in Samoa, next year we're going on different countries.
okay. So it's every year.
Every year, Australia, there's every year different country. There's the different games. Still boxing, Oceania game,
Mm.
Okay.
and South Pacific games different. There's only every 3 years or something,
Okay.
and Commonwealth game the same with 3 or 4 years, and Olympic game
Every
it
Mm.
was
4.
4 years. But Oceania games every year.
Every year. So that was that the
Yeah.
first tournament you had your eyes on? So okay, I'm gonna train and get ready for the
Yeah.
Oceania. And what was your experience at the first Oceania Games tour? Where was it?
Uh, my first Oceania game, went to Samoa.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I won. I won the had the final with the Samoan, and I won the gold medal there
What weight
Ah,
class? What weight class was this tour?
on a super heavy.
Super
super
heavy?
heavy. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the highest.
After
Go ahead,
then,
Tua.
we were in the following year. We went to Taiwan, and I think I got bronze from there. Yeah, it's
Every
different
year.
every year.
Ah, okay. Okay. Tua Lahi, I was just thinking, when you were working your way towards the Oceania tournament, how did you get there? Like, did you just start fighting in just the local in the whole like Tonga Tapu kind of tournaments kind of thing, and then you got noticed by the boxing committee, or how did you?
Now, you only take the champion. The
Okay.
whole Tonga, the whole Tonga big tournament, whoever will be the champion will go represent
To the
Tonga
games.
on
Ah,
Okay.
Oceania
Okay. So
game.
you won. So you won the. So you
the
were
Tongan
champion in the
champion.
local. Got
Yeah,
selected, and that's how you started participating in the Oceania tournament for
yeah,
boxing. Okay. Okay.
So I see now what your father is talking about. He's saying, hey, you win the championship, then you go overseas. So that's what he was seeing. When he
Mm,
was
yeah,
talking to you, he's saying, hey, if you train Tua and you win, you become the champion. That will be your opportunities to go overseas. And
yeah.
once you're going
Experience.
overseas, who knows what other opportunities can come about.
Mm,
yeah. That's what he wants me to do. He told me,
Mm,
"Oh, I don't have much energy to more plantation to send you
keep working.
overseas,
Mm,
but you have to start training so you can go travel."
okay. Okay. What did it take for you? What did it take for you to qualify for the, was it 1984? What Olympics was it? What did you have to win the South Pacific Games, or what does it take to qualify for the
Uh,
Olympic?
Olympic have to win the Oceania, the Oceania or the
mm,
Pacific, New
Mm.
Zealand, Australia, this Oceania.
mm.
So have to one representative from one Oceania to the Olympic.
Okay. So whoever was the Oceania champion,
Yeah,
that would qualify for the Olympics for that weight class.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Did you realize how rare it was to become
Mm,
an Olympian at that time, Tua? Or it was like, just another
yeah,
goal? Or what were your thoughts about making the Olympics? Did you realize how difficult and rare that is
mm.
for someone to be an Olympian at the time?
Yeah, I was. I know that's the biggest game in the world,
Mm.
Mm.
and I was in New Zealand at that time, and they want me to come back to Tonga and represent Tonga on the Olympic game, and it's all good. I come back because I was qualified for the Olympic. I was the Oceania champion,
Mm.
Mm.
and I went back to Tonga, start training there. Uh, your dad, Fale came back from America when he had represent Tonga in the Olympic game.
To help.
Yeah, to help me out. And there was something I don't know what's the mistake, the problem. I supposed to fight in super heavy
Yeah, because that's
91
where you
up.
won. Eh?
That's
Yes.
what this I was qualified to fight on the division.
Super heavy. Mm.
Yeah, and when they brought things back from the Olympic Committee, I was told to fight under 91. That on boxing on amateur 81 to 91. That's heavyweight.
Oh, so
Not
that so the,
super heavy.
a lower weight class.
Yeah, and 91 or any that's super heavy.
Mm.
So when they when we got the thing from the list from the Olympic game, they want me to fight on heavyweight, not super heavy.
Had you ever fought at heavyweight before that?
No.
No. Wow. So this is unexpected. This is
Yeah.
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 And so I really wanna go. I really wanna go because when you're Olympian,
That's a
that's
big
life.
deal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you when you're in Olympic, you're an Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really wanna go. But the problem is I'm 130 kilos.
My
Wow. And
goodness.
that's when you're fit. You're in shape at 130.
Yeah,
Super heavy. Mm.
that's where I'm fighting, always
You're
fighting on
fighting
100.
weight. Masi. So that's the big cut.
So when they want me but to go down under 91, what can I do? I can't, but I really
Mm.
wanna go.
Mm.
Mm.
So I had to train hard, lose weight for I think 2 months.
Wow.
That's
Drop
a
that
lot
much
to
weight.
lose. And yeah.
Yes.
Go down from 130 to under 91.
And that's kgs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
130
KG.
kilos. Wow. That
Yeah.
is a lot of weight.
That is a lot. That is a lot. I can really kind of picture it in my head, Tualahi, that you were really just focusing on really just
Cutting
making
the
weight
weight. Yeah.
instead of maybe like what you said, because if you were fighting your normal weight, you can kind of refine certain
Yeah.
techniques and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking
But
you're just like, I need to make weight, so it's more just
Well,
cardio.
the problem with that is, in my perspective, and you can tell me if the experience was different for you too. When you're in shape at 130, the only thing you can give up is muscle and water.
Mm,
That's the only thing you can give up at that point. So really, you're not losing weight to get in shape. You're losing weight. You're losing power. You're losing energy because you're cutting muscle. At that point, you're
no,
not just losing fat. It's
n-
cutting muscle, and in a very short amount of time, you're basically weakening your body at that
no,
point.
mm,
no, no, that's not the right word for that, to Reka.
mm.
No, I was starving to go down.
Starving. So you had to miss meals. Tualahi. Starve yourself.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Masi.
exactly. No, and that's what I'm saying, because at that point,
Yeah,
you're losing the
you're losing
muscle.
muscle. Yeah.
You're losing muscle because,
yeah,
like you said, you're starving yourself to make the weight. Because it's what? So you went from, let me pull out the calculator here because
Do that in pounds. Yeah.
yes, just so everybody understands, we're gonna do this
Yeah.
real quick to us so people understand. Like, so you went from 130 kilos to 91.
Yeah.
91.
Uh,
91
So
or
that's
under
below.
40
under
kilos
91.
under
Under
91.
91.
So that's 40. That's 40 kilos. So times that by what? 2.2. Masi, that's 85, almost 86 pounds
In 2 months. In
in
two
Two
2
months.
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 That's nuts.
Man, yeah, that's Tua. Starving is like a nice way of putting it. That's almost a average human being right there. A small human being. That's like
Man.
90 pounds.
I really wanna go.
Hmm.
I believe you. I need to
Yeah.
lose. I need to lose 90 pounds and I can't even do it. You really wanted to go to a
Yeah.
that's just so that everybody understands. That's in 2 months. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go and fight against the best fighters in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we have UFC guys, they gotta lose 30 pounds, and
Mm.
it's a big deal for them.
Hmm.
What I didn't realize what
That's
a
a big
big
deal.
shift. That's a big deal. Wow. So
Yeah.
you're starving. Everyone else is training, lifting weights to go to the
Hmm.
Olympics. We have Tua over here starving,
Yeah.
starving to
No,
go to the Olympics.
and this is my question to Alahi. Was this the recommendation from the Tongan Olympic Committee, or was this like the whole what the like
That's coming from the
the
Olympic,
world?
yeah, World Committee.
Oh, why did they make that? And what they wanted to
Yeah.
get rid of the super heavyweight division, or what was
I
their
don't know.
reason?
I don't know what's the problem. Or
Mm,
they take it from the our Oceania
Yeah,
area. I don't know where the mistake from.
that's crazy. That's a bummer that they did that.
yeah, because that's basically just under 90 pounds.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
wow. So you're basically just starving, right? But you're like, I want to go to the Olympics. I'm gonna give it my best shot.
yeah.
You cut in two weight in 2 months, basically. You lose all this weight. You go, what is it like? What's the experience like? Let us know what it's like to be an Olympian. You
Mhm.
train, you get on the plane, you show up at the Olympics, and it was in Korea. Where was the
Yeah,
84?
yeah. So
What was that like? What is it like to be an Olympian traveling for
Yeah.
that tour? Because that's a
uh,
very rare experience.
it's always a special to be an Olympic.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. It's different environment, different spirit up there. It's That's the highest
Yep.
Hmm.
in the world. We meet different people on that game. That's 1988. Yeah, 88.
It was 88.
Yeah, I met there with the group, the Chets.
Oh yeah, they were pretty famous here in America and in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
came.
Wolfgrams.
They play in the game. They came up there to
Oh,
the
they
show.
performed at the Olympics.
Yeah,
Mm.
Oh,
I
how
met
cool is
them.
that?
That
Tongan
is
as
pretty
an
cool.
Olympian meeting Tongans that are doing the
Up
entertainment
and
for the
yeah,
Olympics. That's pretty
that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
So you're there, you're happy. Cut the 90 pounds, 90 plus
Yep.
pounds, having a positive experience. How does the fight day go? How do the fights go, Tua, as you're going through your first few fights?
I lost in the first fight. I know what's going to happen. I know if we because
Ah,
when you go in, you
no
don't have
energy.
any energy.
Mm.
You have
Mm.
to train hard because even though the day for the fight, you had to weigh in. You're still running to get your
Still
get
trying
out.
to get to that 90 under
Yeah,
91.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Who did you fight against and where? What country was it, Tua?
Kenya.
Kenya, a Kenyan guy. So it's a pretty big
Yeah,
guy then for a Kenyan.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You
I
come in.
lost.
What is that feeling like, Tua? I mean, what is that feeling like? I'm gonna go give this the best I shot. I'm nowhere near where I should be.
Should be.
Is your mentality is you know what? I'm gonna try my best to win here, see what I can do. Just kind of help us understand, you know, what
In,
that
in,
feeling is to be kind of like, man, I'm nowhere near where I should be, but I'm just gonna give this the best I got.
in boxing, when you get in, you fight for your life.
Mm.
Mm,
You're not scared of anyone.
Mm.
But the problem is when you go in, you have no energy, you nothing. You just go there with nothing.
yeah.
Mm.
You are very weak because you're not eating for how many
How
Mm.
many
two.
months?
Mm. 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 Did you lose? And was that lost by decision or was that knockout tour? How did the other guy
Uh,
win?
I've been knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I have
Nothing
no
there.
chance. I have no chance. I have no
Mm.
nothing. I'm
Very. Yeah. Never
very
fought in
weak.
this new weight. Yes. Never fought in this weight. You were just whole mentality was just to make weight, and yeah, I can see that being very difficult.
I mean,
Uh,
but that's a very courageous thing to do. I mean, like I saying, like even when you are prepared, you're still nervous. I can only imagine going in and you're like we said, dude, that's 96 pounds. That's a
that's,
small little human being that
that
you
is.
had to lose to go in there and to still have the courage to go in there. That's a big deal. That's a
Yeah.
and against the best in the world. So you're not
Yeah.
fighting against a little guy down the road back
Hmm.
in your village.
Yeah. You're
You're
fighting the
going
best of
against,
Kenya. Yeah.
yeah, and
You're
Kenya, I mean, Kenya has tens of millions of people.
the people.
So
Yeah.
it's a large I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm assuming that person, that fighter, was comfortable fighting in 91 kg.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That guy
Not
was eating
star,
steak.
not starving like me.
Oh.
yeah. Hey,
So
it's still awesome. Still
yeah,
awesome.
it is awesome. I mean, and that's, you know, like you said, the reality is when you get in the boxing ring, no one cares that you were starving. No one, you know what I mean? Like you said, you're fighting for your
For
life.
your life.
He's fighting for his life and what he's doing. What would you say was the biggest learning
Mm,
experience for you, Tua, in your boxing career leading up to the Olympics? I mean, just hearing this story now is this all started with a conversation with your dad on a
mm,
little island in the middle of the ocean. And it was just that conversation, that
mm,
idea, and look at where it took you, right?
mm,
That little advice, that little idea took you to the largest stage in the world. To me, that is an amazing story. That is an amazing story of when you're willing to sacrifice, when you're
mm,
willing to have a dream and a vision where it can take you. And then, like you said, at the very close to getting to the Olympics, you get another roadblock and you say, you know
mm.
what? I don't care. I still want to go to the Olympics, even if I have to go almost 100 pounds lighter than
Yeah.
where I should be. Just kind of share what's been your life lesson and what was been kind of the
Mm,
most interesting things that you learned through that experience.
I think that's the experience I had. Whatever in your heart and in your mind, if you wanna get it, have to work and you get it.
mm,
Even though how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Even though I know I lost heaps of weight, but
mm,
I want to be an Olympian. I know I'm going to be knocked out
mm,
because I lost no energy, no nothing. But I still want to get to the top.
mm,
That's the best games, sports,
Yeah.
mm.
Olympic.
No, awesome. Just another question, to Alahi. I just want to like also just share how rare it is, especially in the 80s, because even the 80s, not many Tongans were traveling overseas as much like today. Tongans are traveling overseas a lot more frequently. But when you made it to the Olympics in the 80s, going to Korea, how many in the group that traveled with you to represent Tonga in the world stage?
There were three of us, three boxers. Uh, Me, Palakovaka is another
Oh,
boy
yeah.
from Hoi. I
Palako.
trained
Yeah.
him. I
Wow.
trained him up when I
Mm,
got there. He's still young, and I trained him up, and he
mm,
was a champion.
mm,
And Sonny Talea Uri from Tomololo. And
Tadeo.
he's in the light heavy.
Mm,
But all of us, I don't know what's the story. We all lose weight to go down. I don't know what's happening.
okay.
Someone, me and Palakovaka, we all, I think, I don't know why they want us to go another level down.
Mm. So everyone in your group had to go a division lower than what
Yeah,
they were used to fighting.
me and Sundare Uri and Palako. We all
Mm.
starving. We all try to lose weight.
Oh, that's it's dang. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
that's strange.
that is strange, but it's pretty cool, Tualahi, because you kind of demonstrate um to everyone, if you're willing to sacrifice, and that's all it is, sacrifice to be an Olympian. Sometimes you just do what you gotta do, even when you understand this is going to be very difficult and detrimental to my ability to win a fight. But you being an Olympian was a huge achievement, and it's pretty cool to see that you achieved that, and to also have an Olympian in the family that not many families can say. So it's still
Yeah.
remarkable, Tualai.
Well, it is remarkable because there are millions of people over time who wanted to be Olympian, and guess what?
Yes.
Never made it.
Yeah.
You know? So keeping that perspective, there are a lot of people who sacrifice, give it all they have, and
Mm,
still don't make it. So it is that's why I say it's a remarkable story. It speaks a lot to hard work. It speaks a lot to vision, right? For
mm.
your father to give you that vision to be like, hey, look,
Yeah.
this is the opportunity. And it really
Mm,
just comes down to Tua, are you willing to pay the price? Because this is what the opportunity looks like. And
mm-hmm,
then, like you said, to get to the world stage, you know, there are too many people. And this is one of the things I think that is important about your story, Tua. There are too many people who are afraid to lose, right?
mm,
They're so afraid to lose, they're not willing to try. I can tell you this is one of the biggest challenges that I see with like the younger generation today versus the older generations is there's nothing wrong with trying your best and then losing, but at least you did your best with the
mm,
circumstance that you had.
mm,
Because I know too many people my age and younger too that they're so afraid they're not even willing
mm,
to sacrifice because they're like, oh, I'm gonna lose. But it's like, you know what? If you never try, you never win. So you might as well try the best. And that's one thing I really admire about this story because the truth is everybody loses. We're all gonna die.
mm,
We all fall short. We all need God. So why are we so scared to lose in a sport or to lose in a job or to lose in anything? Is
mm,
we always lose. We act like
mm,
we never gonna lose. I don't know. That was some of the things that I
mm,
thought was that came to my mind. Tualahi, as we're talking about this, is too many people in my generation are too afraid to lose, rather than look at the big picture of getting there
mm.
is as important as winning or losing. If you don't get there, you have zero
So,
chance. I
yeah,
don't know.
zero
Any
chance.
thoughts on that, Tua or Masi? That was
Mm,
what was going through my mind as I'm
mm,
thinking and pondering getting there and fighting at your natural weight is hard now to lose 100 pounds. I'm telling you, a lot of people I know too would have just given up. They
They
would have
wouldn't
been
try.
like, either complain, cry about it, or just say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to still do my best. I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah. When here in New Zealand, because I'm running a gym, boxing
Uh,
gym, and I got a certificate. When we finish the fight, everyone from the game join at the Olympic game. They have a certificate
for being an
big
Olympian.
for being an Olympian, and I got one and photocopy a big one, and I got a frame and hang it up in our gym. And everyone look at it. Oh, they look at it and they, oh, the coach
Amazing.
been amazing. The coach, our coach, been on the Olympic.
Mm.
So it's different, way big different from other games.
Yeah.
You're in a Commonwealth game or South Pacific game or other games, Oceania game. But when they look, we were at the Olympic game, there's big difference. They all respect,
Mm.
great respect for you when they know that you've been on the Olympic.
Mm.
Yep.
No.
Because they
Yep.
know it's not easy. It's a very
Yeah.
difficult path to get there, right?
Yeah.
And what I find, you know, you see, that's what's interesting when you listen to people who do amazing things. You soon realize that they didn't just do it that one time that they made, like making the Olympics. That wasn't the first time that you had come across fighting bigger people
Mm.
or having to sacrifice to get somewhere. I listened to the story that as we're having the conversation to you're playing, you left home, you go to a new place, you have to learn
Mm.
how to be successful in a different environment. You come to Liahona, you play rugby. Yes, you're younger than everyone else, but they put you in the most physical position because you're the bigger guy, even though you're younger than everyone else. You didn't
Mm.
say, hey guys, I'm the younger guy, why you put me in the front row? you
Mm.
know then coming down to training for boxing, it was just you and a friend.
Mhm.
A lot of people were like, oh, I don't know, maybe it was different back then to but I'll tell you, in this generation, oh, not enough people, oh, I'm scared, I don't want to go into it because there's not enough people, just you and your friend. What I'm saying is, to me, the Olympics is, yes, there was big sacrifice at the front end, but it is that whole life experience. From what I'm seeing in our conversation, is always believing in yourself, and then not just
Mm.
believe in yourself but sacrifice in that belief, and you
Yeah.
consistently do it. That's what leads to the achievement like the Olympics. There's too many people, I think in nowadays, because we can buy everything right away, everything happens quickly,
Instantly. Yeah.
that human beings now, we like to give up. And I'm guilty of this too. If I show up somewhere and it takes too long, I'm like, I'm out of here, I'm going somewhere else. But we lose a lot of that persistence and willingness to sacrifice for the long term, and it develops character. And I think that's something that I can apply more in my life. And I think for the younger generations of Polynesians, it's important to keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to achieve anything,
Mm.
they always big sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
I was I was hungry, thirsty. I still have to wake up and run, try to
Mm.
lose weight, everything.
Nice. Dua, just a curious, curiosity question here. what was that food like? Were you just eating like once a day? And was it a really small portion, or like did you have to just create like a certain meal plan that you kind of follow to make sure that you were losing weight? How did it look like, that process of trying to lose the weight
I
to make
was
the Olympics?
I was in the morning only one egg, one piece of bread, and one little small whatever cheese or small. And that's after a long run in the morning, a big training.
Okay,
And lunch only one little bit of sandwich, and dinner only one piece of chicken or whatever. That's it.
that's it for the whole
And wake
tour.
up in the morning,
Run.
long run,
Yeah,
training. You can't feel any energy from those
yeah,
things you've been eating.
wow,
But I have to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to calm down. I have to
Cut the weight.
Mm,
cut the weight.
mm.
I don't want my wife to get any ideas from
From
Tualahi's
Tualahi,
meal plan.
one egg, one slice of bread in the morning tua, and a little
Mm.
shot of juice.
I don't want my
Mari,
wife to hear this podcast because then she's gonna tell me, Tua,
she's
one egg, one toast. Oh yeah,
That's
no
that's
good
a
stuff.
that's for a long life.
sacrifice now for a long life.
Long life,
So
Yeah.
long
you
life.
you finished the Olympics to were you married by then? Were you married at the time?
No.
No. So what's the journey now? You finished the Olympics. I mean, that's a huge achievement. You said you were already in New Zealand because I do know you came to America for a little bit, then you went to New Zealand, you go on the Olympics. What was the, that big achievement? What was kind of on your mind for the future now coming back from the Olympics? What was kind of like your thoughts? Okay, that's a big
Mm.
achievement. What's next? Like what did you have as your next plan, or any thoughts, any goals? What was next on the goal?
Uh, for when I came to New Zealand after the Olympic game, I was still young,
Mm.
and
How
uh,
old were you, Tualahi? How old were you after
uh,
the Olympics?
I'm on the 20s.
20s, yeah?
Yeah,
24?
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you're still young, especially when you're the youngest and being spoiled by everywhere you go by the and I just do whatever I want. Of course, came to New Zealand. I work. I got my own money. That's
Mm,
all. I just send money back home to help mom and dad, and the
Mm.
rest is all mine.
mm,
So until come to the States, so I know I had to work. It's time to change.
mm.
So when I change, give up everything. No more wandering around and around the bush and party. No more of those kind of things.
Distraction.
Yeah. So
You made
uh,
that choice, Tualahi, you made that choice while you were in America or when you
no,
came back from America?
no, I just made it here in New Zealand
Oh,
when
New Zealand. Okay.
yeah. Uh, I thought to myself it's time to leave all those young
Young stuff
thoughts
behind. Yeah.
behind, and I look for someone to get married, and we got married.
And so kind of give the journey. What was where were you living in New Zealand at the time when you got married? And was that in
Yeah,
Auckland or Wellington? Because you're in Wellington right now, right?
yeah. I used to live in Auckland with my older brother Unga,
Mm.
Mm,
and the kids were up there, but I think that I had to move away,
mm,
on my own course, when I was staying there, I rely everything for them. I just so I need to be myself so I can rely on myself, not on rely on
Be
others.
independent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Self-reliant.
yeah,
Yeah. And it can also be very good for the relationship with the spouse as well, because like you said, when you move away and it's just the two of you, right? You look at each other and you're like, okay, this is us. We got to figure it out. And kind of share with the viewers how many children you have, Tua, and where they grew up and what they're up to these days.
Mm.
I have one son, three daughters. Yeah,
So
and
took after you. That's why I only have one son. I have six daughters and one son. I took after you and only one boy.
yeah, but the only difference is that I'm the boss. You're not the boss, Tuareka.
Yeah, I'm not gonna allow my wife to watch this show. I
And
like to think
where
I like to think I'm the boss, but you're probably right too. I'm not the boss, but I like to think I'm the
I'm the
boss.
boss. That's true. That's true. No, I was gonna ask Dwalai, where are the four kids? How many's in New Zealand? If some of them are outside New Zealand, where are they all at?
And now only my son here in New Zealand.
Hmm.
Uh, my youngest daughter in Mafi, Fatou Mafi, she's serving her mission in the Philippines,
Okay.
and and the other two older daughters in Fonafa in Christina in Australia.
Hmm.
Oh, how are they liking Australia? That's a big step away from home, right? I mean, that must be
Hmm.
a interesting experience for them. How do they
Yeah,
like it?
oh, they love it. Since we went there to the Langi family
Oh yeah,
reunion,
a couple years ago.
and I think they want to stay with Anglo Mita.
Hmm.
Okay, so they liked
So
it over there.
yeah, they like it over there. Yeah,
Nice.
and they
Okay,
stay there.
so they're all
Yeah,
grown up. Congratulations.
Hmm.
yeah,
That's a big deal. That's what I tell my wife. Once they can grow up and they're adults, then
Hmm.
we must have done something right. Right, because I definitely am a big believer in Xiaoxi's philosophy. Everyone needs to make their own choice, right?
Hmm.
Life is about making choices. That's how we learn, that's how we grow. I want to kind of shift into your experience with the gospel, Tua. Obviously growing up with in a Methodist upgrowing, and getting baptized in Vava'u, which I didn't know. I never
Hmm.
knew that you spent some time in Vava'u. I had just thought you joined the church when you were at Liahona. I
Hmm.
didn't realize you joined at a relatively young
Yeah.
age. What role has the gospel played in your life now, and what kind of perspective do you think or influence the gospel has had on your life throughout? But just kind of share anything on your thoughts
Hmm.
on the gospel, the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, Tua, if you have any thoughts on that.
yeah. I joined the church very young, and I grew up. A lot of people surround me. They are strong in the church, and they always support me. And I grow in the church, but somehow getting when I grow up, come to teenage, when you're on a teenage, you have lots
Your
of
own ideas.
own ideas. Very hard to change,
Hmm.
and somehow they always run away from my old man. South is a big fella. Always, if you want sleep, you're a dead man. always run away from me. Yeah, but at least I made my own decision when I was still on the teenage.
Mhm.
But when I getting older, getting wiser, and that's how I find someone to be my wife, help me
Mm,
out. And when I was asked to, I want to ask the parents, I want to marry her, and I told her. First, on those time, I was still no, I'm not permanent here in New Zealand, only my
mm,
wife. So I sent her to Tonga, go tell my mom and daddy you're going to marry me.
mhm,
And off she went to Tonga and bring her mom here to New Zealand.
Mm.
mm,
So when her mom here and I asked permission from her to marry my wife,
mm,
Okay.
I have to do it in a respect way.
mm.
So that's how I found my wife. Yeah,
Yeah, and she gave you some beautiful children as a biggest blessing we can have in this life.
Just a comment on, I think the critical point was pretty much that obviously Xiaoxi noticed that you were talented enough that could be a pathway for you to go overseas. Because it seems like Xiaoxi helped the other older children, your older siblings, Tualai, through his hard work to send them overseas and get to experience overseas. But because of his age getting older, and he did, because I don't think Xiaoxi just said it because to go. He also noticed probably you were talented, and if you put a lot more focus and emphasis on this talent, that it could lead you to, experiencing the world. So that's pretty cool, and that's relevant with our viewers, that it's important to listen to good advice,
Yeah.
whether that be your most of the time it's your family, but also any good friends that give you good advice, that see potential in yourself. And that's why people always say you are what you are with the people that you're around with, because the people you're around with are the ones that give you advices, bad or good. So to me, it's just very important for the viewers, and also a reminder for myself, that when people give you good advice to go and do something, if you put a lot more effort and focus to it, that you can achieve it. So to me, that's pretty cool, to allow you to actually make it an reality. When Xiaoxi kind of gave you the advice that getting older, but to pursue this boxing career, it's gonna take you overseas, because I'm getting old and can't do it. But at the same time, he recognized that you were talented enough to do it, because obviously you and the rest of the boys all box, but you're pretty special to Allah, because you actually box and went to the Olympics, and the other guys haven't achieved that. But it's a remarkable achievement that Xiao Shilahi kind of shared with you, and you kind of brought it to action. So that's
yeah,
just my comment on that, Tualai. It's such a cool thing to hear.
yeah,
And yeah.
yeah. Even Samita with that's me and Samita have been
Shamita. Yeah.
told by Chelsea to train, and me and
Mm,
Samita always train together.
yeah.
And Samita came to be a champion in Tonga too. But
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
cool.
but his family one took him to American
Oh,
Samoa to
oh,
take him to America,
and
but somehow didn't make the visa, and he he came back to Tonga, and from Tonga they sent him to Australia.
Australia.
Yeah,
ah,
but
okay.
I
he
didn't know
was
that Samita fought as well.
That's
oh
pretty cool. I'm gonna mention it to
he
him
was
next time.
he was Tonga champion too, but because they took him, that's why he didn't start represent Tonga.
Oh, his
Okay.
his Holonga family wanted to take him
Yeah,
to
yeah,
America. Oh, okay.
yeah. But
The
he grew up with
interruption.
us. He's a good fighter.
Mm,
W-
awesome. Awesome.
here's a question that I know I hear quite a bit that other people ask other people in interviews, and I'll change it a little bit. And usually is if you could go back now, Tua, and give advice
Mm,
to you while you were just out of high school. But I would say, what would be the biggest advice if you could go back? Because I do believe what Masi said. Surround yourself with good people who can give you good advice, because look at that one advice from your father, Tualahi. Look at what it led to, right? Look at how valuable one piece of good advice can be, right? So
mm,
that's why it's really important to surround yourself with good people who give you good advice, because one piece of good advice can take you anywhere, right? With
mm.
some sacrifice and with
Hard
some
work.
patience and hard work. Um, what would be kind of your advice to yourself? And also, what would you be your advice now that you look at your life and you look at the youth today and see
Mm,
all the opportunity that's available to them, right? That if we were to pull you from form 5 slash finishing high school and brought you into today, and you're finishing high school, and you see the environment now, to a what advice would you give yourself if you were 17 years old, 18 years old, living in overseas? What advice would you give yourself to help guide you with the opportunities now available?
Yeah. If I go back in time, my advice just say my advice to young Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tua, please active in the church and give the word of wisdom if you want to achieve good things.
Mm,
That's the only um, that's the only problem with the young people. The temptation surrounds you to take you with them and have good time without the thing you're aiming for.
mm,
So if you want to achieve or get your goal, just especially for those who are a member in the church, be strong, give the word of wisdom, and you'll get everything. Get the blessing.
no,
nice.
that's actually really really powerful thing. And one of the things that came to my mind, because that is sometimes a big topic,
Mm,
sometimes, is the word of wisdom. And one thing I think, as like you and I'm glad that you put in that one thing, Tua, is especially if you're a member of the church, right?
That's the one.
Because there is there are certain things that, because you're a member of the church, there are certain blessings that you have access to when you do the right thing, right? As like the word of wisdom, that is not always accessible to someone who's a non-member and keeps the word of wisdom. and
mm,
and it and it and it's because God has commanded or asked you to do something, and there's certain blessings that make it special. I guess what I'm trying to
mm,
say is, if you took two people, one is a non-member and one is a member, and they both live the word of wisdom, I believe the member will get additional blessings
mm,
beyond just the normal blessings that a non-member would get. And the reason is because of the covenant and the promise you make with God,
yeah.
right? And I think many times, as member in the church, we think that the blessing is, oh, you're healthy and you're strong. No, I really believe what you said, Tua. Something as simple as the word of wisdom, because you've made these promises with God, keeping the word of wisdom will give you everything you want. Being faithful will give you everything that you want. Not because the word of wisdom not drinking, not smoking, not doing those things gives you everything that you want. No, no, no. That's not the reason why you get everything you want. You get everything you want because you obey what God asks you to do.
Mm,
And to me, I believe that 100%. And I think too many times as members and in the youth, we think, oh, it's just getting healthy and just
mm,
having this. No, 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 no. You can almost, like you said, to get everything that you want by being obedient. Took me a very long time to
mm.
learn that, but I do believe that 100% with what you shared. Um,
You're lucky you got a good wife to support you.
I have a good boss, like you said,
Yeah,
Tua. I have a good
Yeah.
boss. I have a good boss.
boss
See,
lady. Yeah,
yeah, the boss lady, she just slapped me around. I just go, yes, 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 boss.
100% agree. I just was just a quick comment because if you get distracted and you're in a state that if you get distracted, it can totally get you out of the path of achieving your goal, and you may have to change your goal here and there. It really, I'm just, that's why it's really important that if you do have positive people around you, that if you get caught up with personal issues or get caught up with certain influences, um, positive people, you'll be astounded the positive people can pull you back on that path, and you can still achieve your goal. So, hey, I mean, having positive people around you is a big deal. And because this is how I know it's a big deal, because a lot of the people who do go to prison and come out, and they change the we call it the social factors, change the
Uh-huh.
people they hang around with, and it's more positive, they're less likely to go back to prison. And people who go back to people, and we call it the recidivism rate is high. When people go to prison and then come out, they still hang around the same people, very high recidivism rate that they're gonna most likely go back to prison. So it's just like life. The people you hang around with is a big deal on what pathway that you're gonna go to, whether that's
Yeah,
achieving your personal goals or not. So, no, awesome advice, Tualahi. Appreciate it. And for me and Tuareka, it was just to me, it was just an awesome opportunity to have you, because one, we recognize that being an Olympian, it is a big deal, and because the Olympics just kind of finished, just we just thought it would be good to have you and share your experience, and hopefully, people who will see this can take some positives from this, because it's a big deal. But thank you, Tuala.
yeah. I'll do my final comment, and then we'll let you Tua close us out for the program. And kind of going along with what Masi said, from the conversation that we're having and what I really took out from our discussion today with Tua, and I thank you very much, Tua, for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Is if you want to be an Olympian,
Mm,
don't wait to get to the Olympics to behave like an Olympian, right? If you want to be a champion, don't wait to be quote unquote win the championship.
mm,
The biggest thing I took from our conversation today, Tua, is you were behaving like a champion well before you became. That's why you became a champion, right? You became a Tongan champion, a Oceania champion, um, because you behaved like a champion, you sacrificed like a champion, and that's why you were able to achieve it. And you had people around you to give you the advice to help you be that champion from a very young age, from your father providing you opportunity, encouraging you to sacrifice, to make your own decisions. That's something that I really do believe in. If you want to be something, don't wait for that thing to happen and then you can say, I'm there. Behave like it now.
mm,
Sacrifice like it's like you are already there, because that's what it'll take to become one. And I really hope that the viewers um, can also see that it's a pattern. You don't just wake up one day and you're an Olympian. You don't just sit around, eat chips, and drink soda like me every day and then show up at the Olympics. You have to sacrifice, you have to work hard, and that is true for anything in life.
Yep.
And that's one of the things I really enjoyed about our conversation today, and really appreciate your willingness to share your story, Tualahi, and not being afraid. Right,
Mm,
I can tell you right now that many people are too afraid even for having a conversation like this, and that's why you have proven not only in the boxing ring, right, but also in the
yep.
game of life.
Yep.
Don't be afraid, and you won't be afraid. And like you said, if you've done your training, if
Mm,
you've done your best, right, you have nothing to be afraid of. And that's
mm,
a very powerful way to live your life.
mm,
If you can live your life without fear, that's one of the greatest blessings that anyone can have. Too many people are living afraid. But with that being said, I appreciate it, Tua. Closing comments for you, anything you want to close with, and then we will call it a show.
Yeah, just thank you for everything. All the beautiful comment that you two been giving, and I just want to say that everything the same. Whatever you want, whatever you need, you have to sacrifice to get it.
mm,
If you really want to have a good result, there's always a sacrifice beside it. You can't go and just do it straight away and get it, but you have to work hard for it. Work hard, add sacrifice, add trying, and never give up, and you get it, and you receive the good result.
mm.
So whatever you wanna do in this life, you need to work for your goal, go for it, don't give up, just go until you get it, and that's it. And when you get it, then you'll be happy.
Nice.
100%. With that being said, thank you very much, Mr. Atearoa. Thank you, Tua.
Mm,
We appreciate it. And as always, we invite all of our viewers and our listeners, stay curious and don't be afraid to ask the bold questions. Till
yes,
next
sir.
time, thank you.
See ya.
Okay, bye.